Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dana Scranton, and welcome to 8-Minute Wisdom. Today's topic is on success and change. In this episode, we're going to talk about which path that you take deliberately. Now, in the picture on the screen, you see a fellow standing at a point of decision. Do I go left? Do I go right? Now, interestingly enough, this picture that I had generated on AI produced a sign that was planted on the right side. And each of the signboards has a point, has 2 points. It's pointing both direction. Now, that's an AI anomaly, but it turns out that metaphorically speaking, it's perfect for our discussion today. Because ultimately, we as humans, as entrepreneurs, must make decisions on which direction we're going. And sometimes in life, the road signs are not what we should be following. You see, road signs, metaphorically speaking, can be habitual. They can be habits. If you have a success objective, there's many ways to get there. For example, metaphorically, if you're going to a city and you're driving down the road and you come to a path very similar to this, and you see a road sign on one side of the road, but there's no road sign on the other, which direction are you going to go? You're going to go the direction of the road sign, mostly. But what if that other path took you on a beautiful drive through the mountains and across the plains, and you arrived at the same place, but doing so, you were enriched. You experienced things that were emotionally powerful, positive. The point being is you need to make the decision of deliberate change. Change means breaking old habits. When it comes to entrepreneurial success, we can be distracted by habit. And one of the things that I talked about in the prior episode is positive and negative energy. The path, the high road that you see here to the left, to me represents positive energy. To the right, the low road, negative energy. Now, the low road is oftentimes the more traveled one. And why is that? Because it's the easy way. It's the way that people take when they don't want to challenge themselves. They don't want to make deliberate change. They just want to take the same path every day, all the time. And ultimately, it keeps them stuck. They just go in a loop. Taking the high road means taking control of your personal energy, your intellectual, emotional, and physical energy, taking the path that you have defined as the correct way to get to where you want to go and maintaining a positive state of energy as much as you can. Now, one of the differences between a successful entrepreneur and a struggling entrepreneur is energy. Are they living in a state of positive energy? Or are they living in a state of negative energy? Negative energy is a natural state for most humans because it is the state of protection. It's the state of survival. Negative energy releases chemicals in the brain that can be addictive. The reason for those is to prepare you to flee, to fight, or freeze. And we have that built into us. Awareness, as I said in the last episode, is your key. When you know that you have a challenge in energy, when you know that you've got that quarters of a second reaction versus response, then you are prepared to take control of your positive energy and redirect it to the path that leads you to where you want to go. Now, this may sound a little bit heady and a little bit philosophical, but it's absolutely true. The person who maintains the highest state of positive energy will proceed to their destination much quicker, but also in a way that creates a greater potential within them for the next step. The path you take, you can only see so far, but the path leads you to where you want to go. Now, let's talk about mental visualization. This is a state of energy. Now, you've probably heard the statement that thoughts are things. Thoughts are things because everything is energy, right? What that means is that everything that takes place in the universe begins first as energy. So when you visualize where you want to go, you visualize the outcome, the journey, the feelings, the emotions, the criteria that you have established for your success, and you visualize that vividly with emotion and multisensory factors like smell, taste, touch, hearing, feeling. You make it real. In effect, what you're doing is creating a positive energy state for where you want to be. There may be infinite states that you could end up in, but when you take control of it with positive visualization, experiencing the life that you want to create within your mind, then you are on the high road of positive energy. Well, the same thing can happen on the negative side, and I'm sure you know people who do not change. They live in a state of negative energy, and they don't seem to be able to break free and put down the shovel that they're using to dig the hole that they're in. You may try to help them, but ultimately what you find is they thrive on negative energy. The people who constantly notice negative things, the people who are constantly nitpicking on this is wrong and that's wrong, they are living in a state of negative energy. They are on that right low road path that leads them further down into the valley of despair. That's not where you as an entrepreneur want to be. You have to make the deliberate decision to stay on the positive high road, to change those things in your life that pull you back or keep you stuck. That's a factor of observation. It's a matter of looking around you, understanding where you're at, understanding your feelings, your position, looking at your progress on this path, and asking yourself honest questions. Did I make progress today towards my ultimate objective, my goal, my purpose? And if the answer is no, evaluate it. Why didn't I? And it doesn't have to be giant steps, right? You make a decision to make a deliberate change that matters. That can be as simple as picking up a pen and writing down your thoughts every day, first thing in the morning. Now, that's a simple thing, and it may not seem like much of a step, but it's what it does for you mentally, for your mental energy, for your creativity that matters. When you write, for example, you write possibly, if you're like me, you write in pictures. You may be writing words, but you're seeing pictures in your mind. Those pictures are part of the active visualization of where you want to go that day and that moment. That is a deliberate change. So it doesn't have to be some massive change. Incremental change summed up over hours, minutes, days, weeks, months is what matters. A proactive, deliberate program of change in your life every day is what will keep you from sliding into habitual negativity. That's the path to success. Well, that's today's episode, today's message. I hope you found value in it. I know it sounded a little deep and maybe even a little rote, but the fact is, it's true. Your state of energy is going to predict where you end up. Negative energy is going to take you down the low road. Positive energy to the high road, to where you get a greater vision of what is possible, looking out over that plane of possibilities, that frontier of possibilities that I refer to. You can see that from the high road. From the low road, it becomes very difficult to see what the possibilities are. Okay, well, thank you once again. We'll see you on that frontier of possibilities and, of course, in the next episode. Take care.